The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 425 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. I call this one Statement Made, as the boys made a massive statement in front of 75,000+ fans at the Coliseum. And of course, a lot of good games in between, right? Moving forward in the Champions Cup and more. And more, yes. Even though we were gone for a very short amount of time, there's a lot of LAFC stuff to cover. So we're definitely going to get you caught up on everything, talk about the current news at hand, preview the match against Houston. Yep, we're getting busy. Now, that being said, Araceli is off for the night with everything kicking off with MLS. Yeah, she's working. She's busy. She'll be back very soon. Tony should catch us towards the tail end of the episode to preview the next match. He's on his way home. No hurries there, sir. He'll be here soon enough. Of course, what does that leave us? Well, me and Bam. We're going to get this taken care of for you today. Bam, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. It's been a great week. Last weekend was a great way to start the season. Storm's been rolling through all day today and yesterday, so it's been a busy week, been a great week, but looking forward to the games this weekend.
Yeah, man, after this quick week for everybody, busy week, you got to be feeling good about things right now. Excited. I know you were mentioning off air how you were chomping at the bit just to get on air because there was so much cool stuff to talk about. You're feeling it, right?
Oh, definitely. You know, with what happened all this week with the contract extensions to Denny Bouanga, we can get into that. That's a huge extension. Rumors been going around with how much money it's supposed to be. But the one thing I like about the MLS is that during the season, the MLS Players Association releases how much they're getting paid. I like seeing that, so you get an idea of how much we're playing players, or whether we're overpaying or underpaying. It gets good to actually see the numbers and go, yes, this is correct.
Yeah, it kind of gives you the reason why in a lot of cases where teams don't make deals, right? Like, why didn't they make a move? Like, what was there? Well, yeah, now you know how tight things really are. So for Denny, yeah, we know it's a big extension, and we know it's a chance to option for even more. So it's really that vote of confidence that we would expect from the club. But on his end, also, it's a show of passion to stay, right? That the deal that we all thought was going to happen didn't come to fruition, and the player, you can see from his play lately as well, as always, come on. Yeah, he's ready to stay. He wants to stay. He's committed to the club, and so this is a double down from all parties involved. I can't help but be just ecstatic to get this news, to know that he is locked in and ready to go. Yeah, the partnership that he's created with Sonny and everyone else, it is unique in this league, and it's featuring well. I honestly, they're the hottest ticket in town. There is no doubt. We kind of proved that over the weekend. And without him in the lineup, we don't have this great news, I don't think. Not the way things are looking right now without him. Critical stuff. And so we'll definitely get into that. Other funny news, well, you got to pay the bills, right? You want to pay players big money, you got to pay the bills. So we did find out that sponsorships are going to be going to the back of the kit, lower back, which a lot of leagues already do. ACFC does that already in their league, right? Sprouts, I think, is what we see on their kits. So it's not like it's something new. It just seems different for our league. I will say historically, though, the league has done this before. This isn't new. It just hasn't been done in a long time. So, yeah, it looks funky. I had a funny comment about it earlier, but it's probably not appropriate. But yes, that's yeah, it's happening. I get it. I understand. Is it the prettiest thing? No, but you got to pay the bills, right, Bam?
Exactly. Like, you see it a lot more around all that kind of stuff. So having that on the bottom of the shirt isn't the end of the world. It's not like it's going like there's some countries where you're trying to work out what the actual team is because the sponsors are front and center. So having one on the front, one on the back, it's not the end of the world. So I'm not too upset about it. It's going to be interesting to see who actually gets that spot.
Exactly. Yeah, it could it just be BMO doubling down? Could it be Modelo who just signed on as our official beer? Yeah, well, Pacifico in the North End, that was good this weekend, I must say. That was a cool thing to see there. Yeah, who's it gonna be? We'll find out soon enough. It you know, Liquid Death, right? I mean, we've got some cool sponsors, so you never know. Uh, they've got a lot to say. Even the front of their training kits are still open, right? So they're negotiating all kinds of stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. Again, don't turn into like the German ice hockey league or the Swedish league. When you watch hockey games, and Bam has seen it where I'm not sure what the actual logo is. I just see a lot of sponsors. Let's not go there. And I don't think they will.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Also, if baseball can put sponsors on their jerseys, nothing is sacred. So, yeah. All right. Going forward into the things that make us happy, we'll talk about the latest win, of course, and that, of course, is in the Champions Cup, the fine victory against Real Espana. Two legs, convincing. The first match, of course, we blew them out of the water, right? 6-1 win. Beautiful. Well done. Second one, on the other hand, we decided to, hey, why don't we just use a modified lineup? Yes, some starters were still in the lineup, but get some other guys a chance and cycle things a bit. And if we end up on the right side of it, cool. We have the span to do so. So for that match, basically, we went with listed a 4-2-3-1 with Hassal in goal, Nielsen, Safari taking the center back situation, Raposo and Hollingshead. Yeah, right. They're in the lineup for this one. Soignier, Eustachio, and Boudry as your central midfielders, and then Boyd and Bouanga out on the wing, out on the outside mid, whatever you want to call it, and then Sonny up top as the target. So that was a very changed lineup. For the other side, they went with the 4-1-4-1, trying to hold it down. Of course, the only recognizable face in that for all this is, of course, Hugo Lopez, who hugs all around. He was all over the place, especially after the game. Catching up with everybody. So I get it, man. It was rough to see him take the horrible loss in that first one. At least we love the victory, but again, an alum taking a beating like that in goal is not ever nice, right? You don't love it, but hey, it's sport. It's how it works. You got to move on to the next round. Got to be that way. So, game kicks off. I'm going to throw this over to Bam. What exactly happened in this match?
Well, obviously, the first half wasn't much to talk about, really. There was a couple of shots here and there, but nothing too outstanding. To get down into it, was jump straight to the second half. Halftime 0-0. It was what it was. I thought they played a little bit better this time around, so it was what it was. Halftime, we made 3 subs, which were interesting subs. We had Ordaz, Tillman, and Jude Terry come on for San, Bouanga, and Eustachio.
Mm-hmm.
In the 64th minute, the guy with the greatest hairstyle at the moment, and I'll go give him a shout out for it with the 32-52 in the hair, Tafari gets the goal for us. The 64th minute to put us 1-0 up. And that was really about it until the 90th minute. 90th minute, they end up getting a penalty. So it comes up to Benavidez versus Hassel in goal. And one thing that I admit I didn't expect it coming from it, but Hassel has a brilliant save, and we end up going on to winning the game 1-0 and 7-1 overall. So it was for 3 games within a week, obviously coming off a big 6-1 win, then playing 3-0 against Inter Miami, which we'll get into in a little bit. Then coming up with this one, it was good that we were able to rest some of our players at halftime. We still went out there with a fairly strong squad, give a couple more players a chance, and go from there.
Exactly. And again, if you saw the substitutions who found their way in, right? Smolikov finally found his way into the lineup. Jude Terry, as we mentioned, or Dawes getting time. Tillman getting limited time, that was cool. David Martinez as well getting some time after Boyd had his chance. I think the story for me more than the game itself was watching Boudry play. This is the first real introduction to what he can offer to this team, and it was good. I will say he set us up in multiple occasions where we should have scored and didn't get the job done. This should have been 3-0. The chances were clear set, and it was his hard work that kind of got those chances going. His ball handling skills is pretty wild. And as he warmed up into this game, first half was a little slower. Second half, boy, he kind of shifted to the left side, played more on the left, and that just let him take over on that side. And he'd love to bring the ball to the inside rather than just cross it. So there's a lot of creativity, keeping it close quarters. I'm happy with what I saw. He looked more and more comfortable. A little snake bit on those assists, but a big change. Also, I didn't have it on my bingo card that Tafari would be our man of the match for 2 consecutive matches, but boy, he is looking comfortable out there. I think for most of that first half, he kind of started everything. It was pretty cool to see, right? Right, Bam?
Yeah, Tafari this year, he's just gone another level. Let's be honest. He's stepped up. He's gone another level. He's embracing the 32-52. He's embracing the culture of the club. He's embracing everything that we're trying to do. And he's a type of player where if he has a bad game, he'll put his hand up and say, yes, I have a bad game. I'm going to do what I can to improve myself. And he'll come out and apologize to the fans for a bad game, which you don't see that many players do that. But the players that embrace the 32-52 is what we want at the club. Let's be honest. You want players that want to play not only just for the club, for the badge, but for the fans in the stands. And he's one of the ones that's really doing it. And as long as he keeps playing well and keeps that 32-52 in his hairline, that's going to keep going. And I can see a lot more man in the matches coming up for him.
Yeah, if that's that good luck charm and he's just growing in comfort level, it can't hurt. I mean, honestly, talking about the fan side of it, I remember him going to Comic-Con with like 0 rest from a road game and staying that whole time to make sure everybody got autographs. Like it's the energy he brings, right? Also pregame, I know Bam, you wouldn't be able to see it pregame, but he came out on the field way before everybody else and was walking barefoot all over the field, listening to music, just kind of getting to his zone before the game. He's that kind of a player, right? I mean, again, the growing confidence, the comfort, the buy-in is there, and yes, confidence is right. So we're only benefiting. We'll see how we continue on into this weekend, but man of the match indeed, well earned yet again, 2 for 2. So keep it up, that's for sure. Now, I know we usually go oldest to newest match. In this case, it felt let's get that one out of the way. I will say our next opponent will be Alajuelense. There we go. Costa Rica. For those of who went to the last road trip there, it'll be a fantastic trip for anybody going again. Amazing place to visit. Costa Rica is awesome. It is, of course, the 2-game set. First leg is set for Wednesday, March 11th. We'll be hosting leg 1. Leg 2 is set for Tuesday, March 17th. Yes, pack your bags, everybody. Make your flight plans if you're going to make that trip. It was a monster the last time. I'm sure a lot of you are going to go again, and some new faces will make it so. So go book them, make it happen, enjoy that trip. It will not be an easy game. I know we were pretty convincing the last time we were there. That is a promise of nothing. That team is stronger now than they were back then. It will be a tougher game, and having leg 2 on the road in CONCACAF can be special. Yes, sir.
Not only on the road. What is that day?
17th. Why do I want to say St. Patrick's Day?
Yep.
There you go. There it goes. I thought it would be on a weekend this year. I don't know. Tuesday, of course, it's got to be on a Tuesday. Yeah, it is St. Patrick's Day. So that too. It's a green country. Have fun. We'll be surrounded by green. It will be good. Yeah. So again, not an easy team to play. We'll preview that when the time comes because it's always fun to preview those guys. They have a lot of history. So that's cool. And a unique field situation. You'll see. You'll see. So there goes that. Now, back to league history and our home opener. The crazy, awesome, complicated home opener at the LA Coliseum. 75,000 plus fans. The biggest game of the day around the entire world. I kid you not. We had the highest attended match on the day. And remember, everyone's kind of playing. All the big leagues are playing right now. Impressive. Even more impressive. You quickly realize once you were in that place, it was indeed a home game, a big home game. Basically, scattered pink jerseys, but for the most part, it was LAFC. Our fan activities, our pregame stuff was a little bit modified because we were in that house. Crowd control was a bit wild. I had an incident I told the boys about in the first half regarding just trying to get movement in and out of that section, which is kind of impossible. But the situation was what it was. The spectacle was upon us. It was a home game. And sometimes when we play in the big house like that, like when we go to the Rose Bowl sometimes, or the big TV game, this team doesn't show up. Guess what? It was a very different case. Now, Miami, the rumors leading into the match, of course, were that Messi might not be ready for it. There's some health issues, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, he was there. They had the lineup that they desired. What was it? Well, let's talk about it. So our lineup, of course, was Lloris in net, Tafari and Porteous in the back, Segura and Palencia back at it on those outside backs. Midfield was Delgado, Eustaquio, Tillman, up top, Sonny, Bawanga, Martinez. Yes, what we expected it to be. It was no surprises for anybody. On the other side of it, their goalkeeper was the newly signed St. Clair. Sorry. Falcone and Mikhail were their center backs. You had Frey and Allen as the outside backs. DePaul and Bright were holding it down in their midfield. Messi, of course, was their playmaker. Everything, you know how he is. Silvetti and Segovia were their outside midfielders, attacking midfielders, wings at times. And then Bertrami was their new target guy. Yeah. So the new faces were there. You couldn't say they had any B lineup. They had what they wanted for the lead up to this match. And we had what we wanted. So guess what? Let them fight. And we did. I'll throw it to you, Bam. Highlights for this bad boy.
As for this bad boy, let's start off with the first half. Obviously, not being in there, so I was watching on TV and all that kind of stuff. The stadium looked absolutely amazing. Plain and simple, stadium looked amazing to begin with.
Yep.
First half was a bit tight, a bit to and fro. Couple of chances either way. It was what we expected it to be honest. Then in the 38th minute, we had a pass from number 8 to Son. Son through ball to Martinez, and Martinez gets us started up, going up 1-0 at the 38th minute. The only other major thing in that first half was Falcon getting a yellow card in the 45th plus 3 minutes of injury time. So there was 7 minutes of injury time in the first half, which seems about right, to be honest. It felt that was about right, so I was happy with that. But yeah, going at 1-0 at halftime, could have been 2-0, could have been 2-1. There was a lot of missed opportunities both sides, but going in at halftime 1-0, I was very happy with that. What from the first
and
half?
limiting them to what? 2 shots in the first half? That was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. And only 1 for Messi, and he barely missed it. So, yeah, that's pretty darn good with the team that we have. I know you and I were both expecting a little more fireworks, but instead we got discipline, and I'll take discipline. Any discipline match from our guys. Slow it down in a big game like this. Find your heads. That's the best way. Also, with Falcon getting a yellow card, not a shock there. He does like the dark arts. He likes to start things. In the past, we have fallen for it. This time, not so much. I think the biggest example of that was the celebration after Martinez scored. How did he react, Bam? What did he do?
I cannot remember.
Nothing.
Yeah.
He didn't celebrate. He just stand in the corner like, no big deal, right?
Yeah.
The job's not done mindset. Well, okay, let's keep going. Cool, I got it. Move on. That is just stone cold. To go in now you know where their heads were at in this thing. You get through the first half, happy with where we were at. You got the essential lead that you need. Possession was pretty decent for the first half, I would say, not completely one-sided either way. Then comes the second half, and I think the spirit changed a bit in the game. It got a little more complicated, but again, nobody lost their heads, right, Bam?
Yeah, 100%. We kept it on. We kept everyone cool, calm, and collected. Going to the second half, we seem to be taking more of a defensive role in that in that first 15 minutes. We sat back a little bit more, let them bring the game to us. In the 60th minute, we had our first substitution of the game. Martinez came out of the game, and this was a little bit surprise to me. I will have to admit, they brought in Chonier for Martinez.
Clog the midfield a bit.
Yeah. I thought if you're going to take Martinez out, that's where you bring in the Ordaz. But to bring in Chonier was a little bit of a surprise to me. Then in the 7th minute, the man, the myth, the legend, Denis Bouanga puts us up 2-0 with an assist by Tillman.
Yeah, I had to laugh at this one. I'm sorry, but I thought it was hilarious. Your big shot goalkeeper that you swooped out from his last club, paid crazy money to gets into a communication error with his back line, who is kind of new too, right? So you have communication errors everywhere, and Denny's like, I'm not hesitating. You guys can hesitate. I'm not dealing with it. Puts the header past. Sinclair, of course, stuck in no man's land. Has nothing to do with this. He could have basically walked it into the darn net, and you got an easy one there. Giveaway. Fine by me. Let them lose their edge. Good enough. Got to that point. I mean, were you expecting anything crazy like that in this game?
No, not at all. To me, that was more of a I hate to say it, but on the weekend we had the New Zealand derby, Auckland versus Wellington, where one of the craziest goals you'll ever see happened, where the ball got booted from halfway in the defensive half. Keeper comes out, goes for a header, misses it, and goes over his head. So that's
even worse.
The only more crazy. Yeah, even worse, but I didn't expect something like that to happen in this game, plain and simple. So with that,
especially
it was
with this goalkeeper, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Let's be honest, last year's one of the best goalkeepers there was, is now doing this, where you got to sit there and go, what the hell is going on there? But yeah, the pass from Tillman was absolutely amazing. Getting to Denny, there's not much more you can think of.
Yeah, I did hear the breakdown from some saying, well, look, when he was in Minnesota, he sat farther back. He wasn't playing sweeper keeper at all. Like, he was more of, I can cycle the ball, but I'm going to pull back. And in this new system was, no, you're expected to be out there, active, sweeper keeper, which is not what it got him to where he's at, right? It's a different role than what we've seen from him before. So maybe that was the issue, is too much too soon, maybe. That being said, we built on this. It got a little bit better. Yes, we stuck to the defense, and of course, it kind of paid off, right? But there had to be a substitution to make this happen, right?
Exactly. But before we get to the substitution, 80th minute, Bouanga gets a yellow card, and so does Segovia for getting into it between each other. So both get yellow card. 82nd minute, have a substitution, our second substitution of the game. Tillman comes off for number 19. He comes on for his first game for LAFC for the season. So comes on that. In the 88th minute, something that I like to see. I really enjoyed to see. Ordaz comes on for Sonny. Sonny was pissed off he was getting taken out. He was so pissed off. It was great to see. You look at him when they showed him getting subbed off. You see him going, "Why? Why am I going off?" He wants to play. He wants to be there. This is what I like to see. I don't
Agreed. The hunger's
exactly.
there. Yep.
I want to see this from unless they're hurt and they're hurt bad. This is what I want to see from our players when it's such a big game. We're going well. They don't want to come off.
Right.
So obviously, 88th minute, we have that substitution. There's 6 minutes of added time at after 90 minutes. Then in the 94th minute, Bouanga breaks down on the side, crosses it in, and Ordaz is there to put it past St. Clair, and we go on and win 3-0. It was
fantastic.
It was a brilliant win. It was also very, very well structured win as well. The fact that we had players playing defense, we had players playing offense, getting back, helping each other out. It felt like the players really wanted a shutout for this one. They wanted to make sure that they made a statement with this. Let's just go over the stats, for example. Ball possession. What do you think it was?
In the 30s.
32% to 68%.
Yeah. Crazy.
Total shots, 15 to 12. The expected goals, we had 3.26. They had 0.85. When was the last time that...
Yeah, the one messy curve that went out of bounds. Yeah. And then there was the one header. There was a header there. But that's kind of it.
Like, if you look at the momentum graph from halftime to the 70th minute, it's all Miami.
Yeah. It's by design. I think the way we approached that second half and the substitutions suggest that absorb and counter was the call of the day. Like, we'll take them man for man in the first half, trade the chances, right? Take what you can get. And the second half was like, well, you know what? Bring them in and then make them pay, which is by design. Definitely by design. Mark Dos Santos, for as much as we had the concerns or questions leading into this, we saw differences in this game. We saw differences when he went on the road for Champions Cup, but there's a willingness to do things in his setup that we haven't seen from the last two managers that we've had. One essential thing is the willingness to change your shape in the middle of a game because you saw an opening, you saw an issue at hand, and went, hey, let's solve this, not stick with what we got, right? And also a willingness to make substitutions that aren't comfortable for everyone but are necessary. When Sonny came off, as much as he hated coming off, if you were watching the game and watching his movements, he was gassed. He was still putting in the work, but you could tell he was gassed. He put everything into that game, and there wasn't a lot left in the tank. And either you're going to get an injury out of that or you're going to get a mistake, right? And instead, you got another counter option, and you got a goal. I don't think we get that goal if we don't make the change. It's something you needed. You needed another wrinkle, right, to get that little bit going. And Ordaz coming in like that, not even realizing he had the goal, right? He just did his pattern, and the ball came to him. That was his reaction. Oh, I got it. It actually got to me. Again, something that you needed to do to get to where you needed to go. That isn't always comfortable. That isn't always pretty. You don't always have to win pretty. Sometimes you have to do the ugly things, and the ugly things that are going to get you the results. That's exactly what we did in that second half. Is like, hey, possession's nice, playing pretty is great, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that scoreboard. How did it end? Did you get the win? And you got it. A 3-goal difference against the team that everyone in the lead up to that match was like, yeah, they're gonna do the double. They're gonna make it happen. They're gonna repeat as champions. They just have that look. They're better than they were last year, right? We heard all the hype. Can they do it for this game? Yeah, we're gonna see this new era. Well, we saw a new era. We saw the Mark Dos Santos era. That's what we saw. Statement as
100%.
statement can be.
You
Bam,
also look
your
at it too,
assessment.
what we did not play scared football. We played smart, tactical football. This is the game where Carson, San Diego, Orlando, Atlanta, New York's have to watch this game and go, how do you beat Miami? Watch this game, watch what we did, watch how we did it. That's how you break down, that's how you beat Miami. You take this blueprint that Mark Dos Santos drew up, and this is how you get the win. This is how you expose their weaknesses. This is how you shut down their strengths. My big question to you: if you were the manager of Inter Miami, are you playing St. Clair next week?
You have to. You have to. The only way that you get a goalkeeper to improve is you play them. You take them off the field, you shatter their confidence. He has to play him. He's their money man. And I know their goalkeeper, their backup's pretty decent. He is. But he's not an out-and-out starter. It was one mistake. It was a miscommunication. And I can tell you from my experience as a goalkeeper, the getting caught in no man's land because you're trying to be more aggressive is usually a forgiven error rather than one where you're stuck deep and you weren't even a part of the play. So being timid is where you get punished, right? Checking out is where you get punished as a goalkeeper. Getting caught out because you were trying to get involved in a play is usually forgiven. Now, if you do that 3 games in a row, different story, right? But a one-off with a interesting lineup where their preseason hasn't gone to where they wanted it to, it's going to be move on, build your confidence.
Well, they still had a preseason game today. They still had a preseason game today. They played in Puerto Rico today.
Cash grab, as always.
Yeah.
That's
for me. It's. I'll give him one more game. If that error happens again, when they're playing DC United away, I couldn't start him. That's when I would make the change.
I think they're ride or die with him. Honestly, it's going to take a lot to get him out of that lineup, and not for the guy they have as a backup. I don't think they have that confidence in him. Even though he's a good goalkeeper, he really is. They're gonna go this way. To me, the issue is you changed his role, right? Something he's out of comfort zone, and he needs more time to adjust to it. That's all that was. At least that's what I see. It's not like he's a weak goalkeeper. It's just he's got to make his adjustments and become a part of that side. It's a different world with Messi and company. So, yeah, they'll lick their wounds. They'll move on. They'll be fine. It's just gonna add to that story. They'll figure it out. They'll tear some teams up as a response to this. Yeah, they'll be good. I think the other funny thing, maybe Messi won't respond well. He didn't at the end of the game, that's for sure.
No.
So I'm sure you all saw that incident. What was your thoughts on that, Bam, of him losing it with the referee?
If it was any other player, everyone will be up in arms about it.
Yeah.
But because of who it is, and there's another player in the world that could get away with it, but because of who it is, I think everyone's like trying to brush it under the rug.
Right.
My biggest thing for me that I'm really happy about is first game of the season, we've never lost.
Streak continues.
Mm-hmm.
Streak continues. I think my other takeaway from this, and this is going to sound a little weird for those who are a little newer to the situation. A group of us 10 years ago went on a trip to Germany. You probably know the lore of that. 3252 heading to Dortmund to see a stadium that was about 70-something thousand. Okay. To now returning back home and hosting a home match where you actually were a home match with 70-something thousand, and the 3252 being bigger than it's ever been, way more than 3252 on the day, with tifos and all, was kind of a vibe. for some of us old farts that saw what that was and went, wow, could you imagine doing something like that? To, hey, we did something like that. It's a cool vibe exactly 10 years later. 10 years, last week. So well done on everybody. 3252, you guys were amazing. Tifo with the gladiator, man, cool stuff. So shout out to the faithful, shout out to the club. Everybody did whatever they had to do in this match to get across the line. They did it, and now we have this crazy momentum for this season. And I know we're going to keep building on it. On that note, I think a certain supporter just found his way online. So we'll get him in this mix so he can say a little bit before we move on to the next thing. That is right. Hey, Tony, we're being wax nostalgic about the match in the Coliseum and our 70+ thousand, like some certain match certain people went to about 10 years ago, and now having our own thing. So we'll give you your impressions on this match before we move on. I'll give you final word on this thing.
Final word on that. Pretty much, it was a statement game, perfectly executed. I hope the doubters of our off season, because as we were going into the, like everyone's saying, like they're like, oh, the off season, LAFC didn't reloaded. Now looking at everything, it seems like it's a pretty well-oiled machine for the most part as of right now. We'll see what Miami does, because again, Miami's falter is you're replacing. Yes, did they get a lot of big stars, 100%? But how do you replace Busquets and Alba in that with Messi? And just, it's a big shoes to fill. But overall, great game. Bouanga got the raise, as you guys saw, because of this game most likely. And now we move on to whoever's next, and which is also the second half of our Champions Cup game.
Yep, exactly. And so we covered that one as well, Tony. I did want to throw it to you guys. A couple comments, about 4 of them. So I'm going to give you guys a shot at this before we move on to LAFC 2 talk. Because come on now, we want to talk about happy stuff here. Dave Gomez says, let's do this thing. He's in the mix. He says, bam, Bouanga until 2028. Exactly. Or 31 if we option him. Right? Crazy cool. And then, of course, the Triple C round of 16. And yeah, the confidence feel is different for this side. There's something there. There's a there. So I heard from a certain person about how Martinez is getting pushed a bit in training and other players and really adding that weight where you need to. So I dig it. I love it. I think we all do. All right. On that note, let's move this thing on to a little bit of an LAFC 2 update for everybody, and then we'll get into club and community news. Quick hit on the LAFC 2 update. MLS Next Pro announced a new broadcasting partner. That's right, broadcasting partner for 2026. It'll be on One Football. Not totally familiar with that, but One Football. And then all matches will be free to watch on One Football and MLSnextPro.com. Easy place to find it, right? Also, LAC2 is going to open up the season this Sunday against Tacoma Defiance, 7 p.m. kickoff. It will be on One Football, as we said. Fabian Sandoval, of course, will be the new leader for this club, the new coach for this club, manager. It will be his first chance to bring out the young black and gold. That's kind of where we're at right now at LAFC 2. We'll get more about rosters and stuff as we see who actually features for this, as everything seems to be in play right now at LAFC 2, as you'd expect as a developmental side. So there is that. We'll quickly, of course, go to community news because, we got Tony in the mix now. He can feature on this bad boy. So what is going on in the community, sir, before we preview our future match?
So first off, for club news is we have a new drink sponsor, Modelo, as is the official No More Heineken. So there's going to be a lot more changes for Modelo. Just keep your eyes peeled for that in the North End, probably hopefully in the next game. With that being said, like I said last time, 3252 memberships for 2006 they are available at the moment. There are 2 versions. There's a $30 and a $65 one. The $30 one is you just get, an exclusive 3252 scarf and also discounts to tailgates, access to exclusive members only events, and 3252 exclusive discounts on merchant HQ. And so, but with that one, you can also do pick and choose. So in other words, you can add any of the stuff from the $65 membership one, which is you can add the pin for $8, you can add the patch for $10, the dog tags for $5, the beanie for $20, or the crew socks for $15. And of course, if you just want to get everything, $65 straight up, and you get everything in the first package and stuff like that. So up to you. Pick and choose. I like this new style because it's like usually used to be tiers, but shout out to Mario for making this new kind of style and membership for it. So it makes it more fun, more accessible, and everything like that. Now with the away games, we have a lot of watch parties going on. It's watch party season. So let's break it down and let me take a deep breath because we're going to go through this really quickly. So Black Army and Cuervos are having a joint watch party at San Fernando Brewing Co. at 425 Park Avenue, San Fernando, California. Exos will be at Distro 14, 1837 First Street, Los Angeles, California. TSG will be at Beer Gardens, 206 Northwestern Avenue, Los Angeles, California. Lucky's will be at looks like I want to say Joker Dailies.
Oh, Joxer Dailies.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought because it looked like Joker to me. I was like, okay, Joxer Dailies. 11168 Washington Boulevard, Culver City, California. Pie Republic will be at High Tops Los Feliz, 1714 North Vermont Avenue, Los Angeles, California. Crew will be at Angry Horse Brewing, 603 West Whittier Boulevard, Montebello, California. 420 Originals will be at Lounge 51, 347 Ventura Boulevard, Space A in Tarzana, California. LAO will be at Tire Bitter Brewery, 2502 South Figueroa Street, Los Angeles, California. Empire Boys will be at Rowdy's Brewing Co. 102 6th Street, Suite A, Rancho Cucamonga, and D9U will be at the address is 5720 Pomona Avenue, Los Angeles, California. There is free, I guess, parking or something like that. That's what I saw in the flyer, but they didn't show what the location is. But that's the address. And those are all the watch parties for the upcoming match coming up.
Hey, home base for D9. That's all you got to know. They're going to be partying there. Every one of these things, and every one of these watch parties is going to be a blast wherever you are. So find your nearest one. Have a good time. It doesn't matter which group that you're in. You are welcome among all. It is I'd say tighter than ever, honestly. It is a tight-knit group. Everybody looking out for everybody. So feel free. If you can't get to your home group, visit whoever you can. It's going to be a good time out. That is for sure. You won't be missing out. The only thing you miss out on is you don't go to any, right? So have fun with that, of course. So on that note, with victory in hand, I'm wondering what are these guys going to come up with for the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute? Who's got what? Bam, what are you thinking, sir?
So this one actually is a classic 06 dance electronic song that I haven't heard in a long time. It randomly popped up on my Spotify, but it was the short remix. Me personally, I love the original mix. I'm going with Marcel Woods, and the song is Advance, because we advanced to the next round of the Triple C.
Wow, good choice. I like it. Tony, you got one, man?
I would probably do it with the Olympics kind of wrapping up and everything, and I'll do it with one of the talk of the for figure skating world, Stateside by Pink Panthers and Zara Lessons, Stateside. That'll probably be
There
my
we go.
pick.
Okay. All right. After seeing what we did to Miami, I'm thinking Seek and Destroy from Metallica. So yeah, I'm kind of there. Or no, search. Yeah, whatever. Metallica's in my head. Been in my head a lot lately. A little bit of Pennywise too to get a little bit loud. Dude, yes. have fun with it, guys. Come up with your own, throw them out there if you got an idea what you want to go with. But yeah, time to be happy. That's for sure. It's been good. Of course, we will get tested, and we'll lead into that next. Of course, we got to play Houston. Uh, those who know, right? Anytime you go to Houston, it's not going to be pretty. It never is. It usually includes a weather delay or something else goofball before we can get going. Yeah, storms have been a thing. I've neglected to check the weather report in the lead up to this match because I have a bit of a thing when it comes to Houston. But yes, we're playing Houston this weekend on the road. They are coming off of a 2-1 victory against the Chicago Fire. And I'll just say this, they stole it like a thief in the night. First half, they were completely dominated. Matty Bogus, yeah, I know he's back in the league playing for Houston. Had a horrible giveaway in the first half that cost them a goal, back pass to nowhere, and then Kuipers just ran it on in and scored it. And then the second half turned into something very, very different, where Houston was actually able to find their feet, get into it, and take a 2-1 victory. Again, it should have been a lot more against in that first half. To me, that there still weren't more chances from Chicago, but Houston survived and got the job done. Essentially, that's what happened in that match. So interesting, scrappy, but that is what happened. Now, looking at the lineup, looking at the depth, I wanted to go to you, Bam, because you were actually looking at lineups and what we're seeing from these guys. Do you want me to mention the lineup last match, or do you want to go into the depth chart?
We'll go into the depth chart because I was able to find Backhill.com did a full list of depth charts for all MLS sides, which is quite good. Obviously, with Houston, they're going to keep Bond in the back because Bond is their best keeper, plain and simple. Yeah. With the last game, they did a 3-4-2-1, which was interesting. Obviously, had Holter, Carlos, and Shavchenko in the back. Going by the depth charts that I've seen, Shavchenko being that right center back, he's the only one in that position. You got Nigiri, who plays a right back role as well, but he obviously didn't play last game because, if I'm correct, he could be. No, he's not out yet, but he just wasn't in the side. You also got with their centre mids, with their midfield as well. You got last game had Anali, McGlynn, Bozart, and Holmes. In front of them, you had Augusto and Bogusz. Bogusz is that one of players that they have that can either be a striker or that midfielder. So, seeing him back in the league, I'm glad he's back in the league. He did make the mistake for for Chicago's first goal last game. That was a absolute howler.
Yes,
but
it was
good seeing him back. Good seeing him back in the league, and I will say that. So, and then up top, last game they decided to start with Ponce, which I see them doing a lot more, having Ponce up top. You also look at too is that they've got 3 players out and 1 questionable from the list from last game, and I don't expect them to be back for this game either.
So who's out for this one?
For Houston, they have listed Atua, Reese Miller, Quinones, and as out, and Felipe Andrade was questionable.
So it's not a big effect to the starting lineup, but reserves are thin. Okay.
Yeah, their reserves are a bit thin right now.
Now, I will say, looking at the roster, seeing who's out there and who featured in the match, second half was a better story of who they really are. It just is. I will say that Bogus did find his feet towards the end. The guy that was really fascinating to watch was Guillermo Augusto, one of their new signings. He was really finding his confidence, and kind of shake and bake, right, at times. He did get the 2 goals, of course, but creativity is there, keeping the ball with him. It's really hard to get the ball off of him at times when he's on. And that second half, he's like, oh, I now know the pace of the league, right? You could see I'm building as the game was going. So that's going to get really interesting. Of course, Jack McGlynn is another story, right? They got him from Philadelphia, kind of turning a new leaf with a new club, getting a proper paycheck that Philly wasn't willing to pay, because that's what Philly kind of does sometimes. Right? Kind of underpay their guys a bit, but now he's got a new place to go, some new faces around him, and Sviatchenko is also a good player. You'll see. We'll have to deal with him. So yeah, that is where we're at. The other funny name after 2 seasons, you know how Mexico seasons, Liga MX seasons are, with Toluca getting some rings out of that. Hector Herrera, who, remember, left on really off terms at Houston, is now back in the mix. Now, he was a reserve at Toluca, right? Came off the bench for them. Figuring at his current age, that's gonna be the story again for Hector Herrera. Tony, I ask you, man, what's your thoughts on Hector Herrera making his way back to MLS, back to Houston? What do you think his role really is, man?
He's just a backup, kind of like a role player, like the elder statesman for it. Like I don't see him really doing anything that great, but Cotemo Blanco is, but not there, is the best way to say it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess he gets to train McGlynn a bit on the dark arts. Yeah, it should be. Again, if you're in a jam and you have a lot of games on your schedule, well, there's Hector Herrera, right? He's going to come in. He's going to add some sandpaper to your lineup. He will control things when he needs to. He will mix it up. He'll sacrifice. That is no doubt, right? He's a hungry player. But long-term starter, no, I think we're way past that. I think Bogus is the guy that they're trying to sell the best on here and really think they're going to get the most out of. His time at Cruz Azul was very up and down, more on the down. Tony, you probably saw more of him than I did. Your thoughts on his experience at Cruz Azul, and do you think it's going to be a positive or negative as he moves back into MLS?
Oh, it's a positive. It's if it's more his play style more often. Like you saw him at the end of his run as LAFC, that he was working in Liga MX. It's more physical. It's more out there, and you can do what you do, but I don't think it fit his system that well.
Right. I mean, yeah, I think MLS is the best. I thought he was going to Chicago, honestly. So it's kind of funny he starts off against Chicago. Great assist for Chicago, so maybe he kind of did play for them a little bit. But yeah, there is that. Now, they missed the playoffs last year. They're trying to get back in. They've made some deals to make that happen. Again, they've conceded 56 goals last year, right? Defense has been a big issue for this side. And now you got the Denny Bouanga and Sonny show, or maybe say Sonny and Denny. You know how they are. It's interchangeable with these two coming into town. Yeah, they're going to get a proper test. That's for sure. Depending on if the game actually kicks off, because you know how the Houston weather is. So there is that. Bam, I'll throw to you.
I actually had a look. There is no bad weather looking at it. It's supposed to be a nice, warm, 27 degrees Celsius. So that's what? Top of 80.
Yeah, it's warm.
27 is not too bad. But yeah, looking at on like accurate weather and all that, it actually doesn't look that bad on game day. So hopefully,
no random thunderstorm. Oh my gosh.
No, like mostly cloudy, and then mostly cloudy to partly cloudy. So should be, heaven forbid, nice. And humidity and all looks like 0%. So
there we go. Dry lightning, maybe. I don't know. We'll let that go. We'll see how it goes. Enjoy the watch parties. I think it's on. We're ready. The guys are ready. We look healthy. We got confidence. If you guys got proper rest that they needed after the Champions Cup game. So that brings it to what we're going to do in this match. So I go to you guys first. We know Lloris is in goal. We saw Porteous got the rest. Is it the Tafari Porteous show? I'll go to you, Tony. Is that who's gonna anchor that back line?
Oh yeah, I don't see that changing. Tafari has been like the breakout. The start of the season, he's just been breaking out. Like it's a different Tafari that I've ever seen coming in. So I don't see him leaving that spot for a minute.
Seeing that Tony wasn't here earlier, what are your thoughts on his new hairstyle?
I like it. Like it's something that I did once before. I just didn't put 3252 on the side, but I like it. Like,
but what are your thoughts on the 3252 on the side?
It's good. I like it. Like, it's cool. Like he knows like where like the representation is and like what we do for everybody. So yeah.
Yeah, greatest hairdo in the history of LAFC. I must admit. I mean, long-haired Carlos Vela was pretty cool too, but 3252. Come on now. Can't beat that. Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so we know who our center backs are. We know who our goalkeeper is. Steady Eddie looking steady again. Is he going to be back at left back, ma'am?
You would have to say yes. Like he got the break for the CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Yeah.
But looking at how he played against Inter Miami, you'd be stupid not to. I'm sorry,
right.
But you'd be stupid not to.
Right, and as much as we have fun watching Hollingshead cruising all over the place, I think the discipline system that Dos Santos is looking for is that word, right? Discipline, don't wander off, play within yourselves kind of vibes. Right back, Tony, is there any doubt we're going to have any changes at right back? We know who the starter is, right?
No changes in the right back. I don't see anything really changing up there. It's still early in the season where we don't have to worry about like load management.
And Palencia is that guy that you want to go kick some butt when you're on the road. So there you go. All right. Then it comes to the midfield. You have your two defensive midfielder, your one attacking midfield. That's what we really like to have now. Eustaquio, I think I said that right. Max kind of cleared it up for all of us, but I'm still going to butcher it. I think he's a lock. I think Delgado's probably a lock as well. Tillman a lock too, Bam?
I would say yes. You know, he only played the second half in the midweek game. The only other you could put in there would be Boudry, but I think because Boudry played the full 90 midweek, you have to go Tillman.
Yeah, it's kind of a tell, right? You give him that many minutes, means you're not starting him, but probably reserve. I mean, how could you not counter with that guy? It's going to be fun, right? Limited numbers against a guy like that running at you. Good luck with that. Yeah, I could see him coming in as that second breakout player later in the game. Tillman also has that special understanding with Sonny. There's a thing there, so yeah, I can't see that not happening. Of course, Denny. Sonny, yeah, a given, right? That's automatic. Martinez feels like an automatic right now. Am I wrong in that, Tony?
Nope, not at all. Martinez is again. He's showing that he's got that left foot like curler every time. So I don't see he should keep going until it's too late.
Yeah, mindset looks a little different, and guys taking corner kicks now where Sonny would be taking them. So he's kind of like his heir apparent on dead balls, and again, added responsibility, but added maturity to go with it. That's what we've seen so far in the few games I know it's a short sample or small sample, but it's there, right? He seems like he's playing a lot older than he is in these few games. Am I wrong in that, Bam?
No, you're 100% correct there. He's smartened up, that's for sure.
Yeah, I again, when your staff has confidence in you, when your manager has confidence in you, you can see it, and I think it's there, right? The vote of confidence is certain, so it's good. I dig it. It's looking good, I gotta say. All right, Tony, what do the boys have to do? Again, tough game on the road. This is not an easy game. What are they gonna have to do against Houston to get the result?
Honestly, just be on point and just like finish the strikes that you do it. Like keep this whole like mentality of going fast, going slow, and like looking for the shots to like pass through and everything, and then just kind of wrapped up the game early. The earlier we can't get this wrap up, the kind of safer we get.
Agreed. Definitely. Smarter play. And it has been. Bam, your thoughts. What do we have to do to get the win?
For me, it's going to this like going against Inter Miami. Know who their players are, shut their players down, defense be on point. That's a big thing. Our defense last game was on point. Everyone got back. Everyone helped out. Find that pass. If it's another Tillman over the back for Bouanga, find that pass, get that going, and we'll easily get away with another 3 points.
There we go. Keep the discipline. Keep it alive. If you need to play counter, play counter. See the possession, bring them in, punish them. It works. If we want to hold possession, we have the ability to do so. Again, we have a manager now that is willing to switch things up mid-game as needed. The other funny thing I saw in the game against Real Espana, which I don't remember seeing this as much or at all, was the way the management was working on the sideline, because I'm one of those weirdos that watches things like this. One, Dos Santos was on his feet for most of this game. He didn't sit out most of the games. He seems to get to his feet real quick when he sees something. The other thing is his assistants bring out video, bring out the iPads, right? And I remember Boudry going over to the side to get water, but all of a sudden it became an instruction thing where they're looking at a screen over there. But then he switches to that side, right? You're like, what did they see? What did they show him? Sports data information game always seems to be a winning formula, and they were doing it in real time, which I didn't notice as much last year. I'm sure that I know they went to tape like crazy last year, but in game, in moment, to get a drink of water and you're going into that analysis, kind of a different look. I mean, Tony, do you remember seeing that much last year?
No, not at all. Like we're like talking NFL, like quarterback kind of stuff. So it's like it's nice to see like they can see the full field. So maybe that like gives you an extra advantage to like see the whole field.
Again, nothing so religious, right? You're just going to get there and be pragmatic and you have your ideas of things. And I think we have a staff that's why it's working so far. I know it's a small sample of games, but hey, we'll take the first 3. Now we just got to keep going. There we go. Now let's see about 3 comments from the faithful. Let's see who jumped on with a little bit to say. And what we have left. And it looks like it's mostly us, right? That's what the comments we saw. So there we go. Thank you for everybody that jumped on tonight to check out the late night edition of the Heart of LAFC. This is pretty much what we do Thursday nights late. Do not hesitate to come on. Do not hesitate to comment. We love what you guys have to say. Make a tough question. We like those even more. Make a crazy statement. That's cool too.
Even if you can't watch us live, shoot one of us a message and we'll read out on
fan mail, supporter mail. We're definitely in for that. So don't hesitate, guys. We again love what you guys have to tell us. You are the reason why we do this thing, right? 3252 to the core. Heart of LAFC is why we call it that, because this is the voice that we feel comes from the stands, because that's what we're here at mostly, right? That's the tailgates, all that fun stuff. The passion is there, right? And that's always what we've tried to convey, is that we want the voice from the North End. We want the voice from all sections, right? We want to hear the perspectives of this club, especially in the good times as well as the bad. So never hesitate. Also, if you're watching this, like, subscribe, enjoy, right? At the end of the day, and of course, you guys guide where we go. So on that note, as we close out another episode, that's right, Houston, done and dusted. We're ready for them this weekend. How do we close it out? Well, we give our final thoughts. We always give our final thoughts. So since he was the last in, we'll say it that way. Last man in, we'll say he's the first guy to comment on this. Your final thoughts, Tony. I know, a short one for him. Thoughts, man.
Final thoughts is just keep the communication and watch out for each other, and just makes society a better way. And community is a big thing, and I think like sometimes that gets forgotten about it. And this is why we kind of started the podcast as a communal thing. But reach out to people, hang out. There's a lot of watch parties, so you can watch some footy, and it's going to be a fun weekend.
Exactly. Again, go out and visit your friends. In the 3252, there's a lot of groups meeting, so there's one near you. Bam.
Final thoughts for me is there's a lot of sports on this weekend. There's actually a Australian sports being played in Vegas this weekend. You've got the Australian Rugby League kicking off this weekend in Vegas. It is a Saturday afternoon game for you guys. So first game kicks off at halftime for our game. So that one you probably won't get a chance to watch, which, to be honest, it would be a bit of a boring game to watch with the Knights and Cowboys. But after that, you have the Bulldogs versus Dragons. If you all know Monty from the Expos, hit him up. He'll know a little bit more about those clubs over there for you guys. And yeah, we'll go from there. Tony had to run away. He just got a phone call, but we can deal with that without him. For those that are going to watch parties, you don't always have to go to your crew's watch party. If you want to go have some drinks, save some money on Ubers or ride shares, just go to your closest one. Yeah. Remember, although you're a part of a certain SG, you're a part of the 3252, and we all look after each other. We all care for each other. We all reach out to each other. We all party together. We're one big dysfunctional family, because sometimes you don't get along, sometimes you do. It is what it is with so many people. That being said, I always go on about it, and I will always go on about it. The mental health matters. It's okay to not be okay. Conversations can change and save a life. For those of you in the LA area, definitely if you do need it, reach out to it. The LA County Department of Mental Health has a couple of hotlines. You can call 800-854-7771, or if you don't feel like physically speaking to someone, you can text to 988 and someone will help you.
Yeah, you are not alone out there, guys. Again, we're if you want to reach out to us, we will listen. There's no doubt. We're here for you guys. Same with your fellow brothers and sisters of the black and gold. Leave it at that, 100%. Right? Reach out. Do not hesitate. If you're not feeling right, if you're not feeling well, don't hide it. Share it, right?
Exactly.
People that will help you always.
The upside to us here as well, because I'm in a different time zone. I'm up later than these guys, so even if it's 2 a.m. your time, it's only 7 p.m. for me. So I'm here for you guys if you need it as well.
Yep, definitely. Again, reach out. If you want to just talk about fun stuff, give us those previews for the matches, talk about the league and where it's at right now. You know, we always like that conversation too. So good on all you guys for reaching out. Tony and I, we had some great conversations, especially at the Coliseum, especially at the last match against Real Espana. Again, seeing a lot of familiar faces after what feels like a very short off season, but also, again, not seeing people for a while feels like a long time. Good to see all of you there. I think one thing to take away when we talk about the black and gold family, staying golden and all that fun stuff, I think we're bigger than we thought we would ever be after seeing what happened at the Coliseum and going, man, we are a juggernaut. We just can't lose this thing. Build on that, right? Welcome more people in. Get it bigger and better. Because, yeah, there's no stopping this train. Let's see where it takes us this year. It's going to be a fun one. So on that note, our final word, like we always do, Bam.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
There we go. And from me to all of you, and on behalf of Tony and Araceli, who hopefully we'll see them back next week. You know, Tony's in the mix. You know, the word is going to be stay golden, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.